Good morning. It is truly a beautiful morning here in Virginia and where you are. You just have to have the eyes to see how truly beautiful it is. Yesterday, I mentioned something to you, and the tendency was to ridicule me. I would ask you not to do that because you're wasting energy and time, valuable time, when you ridicule me or belittle me. Trust me, there is so much to know, so much to absorb, that you should not waste your time being angry or being ugly towards me. It's not worth it. It really isn't. Yesterday, I also mentioned the Gospel of Judas and how powerful it is because in that Gospel, Judas and Jesus has a conversation, and Jesus takes Judas aside and he tells Judas that, look, I'm going to share with you the secrets of the universe. And he tells Judas a lot of really good things, one of which is that when he leaves them, he goes to another holy generation, a holy generation. And to quote him, the next morning he appeared to his disciples, and they said to him, Master, where did you go, and what did you do when you left us? Jesus answered, I went to another great and holy generation. It is my opinion that this generation is the great and holy generation, and I say that because we are beginning to decipher the secrets of the universe. Last night I was in my kitchen and I turned the water on and I could see a miniature. By the way, there was a pot in the sink. I'm trying my best to use words to describe something that is way too dynamic, but I'll try. There was a frying pan in the sink, and I put some Dawn in the frying pan because I had burnt a steak. My interest was elsewhere, not in the steak. But anyway, put some Dawn, and then I turned some hot water into the frying pan that's in the sink. And as the hot water went down into the frying pan, there was a picture of a miniature universe circling. A miniature universe. And that was something I needed to see to understand the multidimensional nature of all things. What I see is something that I could have photographed and show you on the screen. But in fact, it was the result of many dynamic actions, not the least of which is the cleansing water, the water overflowing into the sink, going down to the drain. That's all part of the same action. Each molecule of water combining to do a great thing. Okay, if it doesn't make sense to you, you can write to me. There's my email address, and say whatever you will. But I'm telling you, don't waste your time on ugly thoughts. Okay, so my partner and wonderful lady is in Lima, Peru. By the way, you don't have to watch any of this. You really don't. But anyway, she's in Lima, Peru, and I am drinking a drink that we both enjoy very much. It is made with Jamaican instant coffee. Now, I mention those words because every single one of them is important. It has to be Jamaican instant coffee, and the brand name is Mountain Peak. No other coffee, in my opinion, will do. And then you have to mix it with cocoa. Swiss Miss. Swiss Miss is the cocoa I recommend. So you put a packet of Swiss Miss into a cup. You add a teaspoon of this right here, and you can find this in your Caribbean store or maybe on Amazon. Then you had 2 teaspoons of sugar, lots of boiling water, mix it well, and then you add a generous amount of half and half. Here's to you, Linda, just in case you're watching. I'm having it, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's warming, and it's delicious. Finally, there's a book that I wanted to discuss this morning, and I can't find it. Now, I know it's here, but you see, you got to understand that in my house, there are books everywhere. There is no such thing as a library. The books are scattered everywhere. I'm looking at a book right now about Canon photography, and next to it is a townhouse dipping thins. You see what I mean? It seems disorganized, but it is not. So I can't find the book that I wanted to talk about because that book is so very clear. It might be on the porch because that was the last place I was reading it. Anyway, that book talks about the alternative gospels, and it explains in a wonderful way the different dimensions of humanity and why things are the way they are. If I show you this cup, you're looking at me and the cup on the screen, okay? But I am not here, and this cup is not here. What you're looking at is a projection on your tablet or phone, but it is not me. I say that because what has happened when Jesus talked about going to another great and holy generation, he was trying to explain to his disciples that he was, but he wasn't. Okay? And what I wanted to do was I wanted to discuss that book, The Alternative Gospels, with you because it is a powerful book. Instead, the spirits won't let me find it, but it did let me pick up a book that I'm in the middle of reading called The Physics of God. This book, I mean, if you really care about who we are, our dynamic self, our multidimensional reality, how good we are, how wonderful we are, if you really care, then you will read this book. It is one of thousands of books. This one, though, I want to read you something, and my reading is not very good, okay? It says, our body, like the universe, is being continuously created from our template-like holographic energy body. The moment change occurs in our holographic energy body is the moment change occurs in a holographic projection we know as our physical body. Our physical bodies are not fixed. They are energy masquerading as matter, nor do they exist independently. Our physical bodies are the moment-by-moment results of non-local energies interacting with our non-local two-dimensional holographic energy template. Results in our local, holographic projected, three-dimensional physical body. Okay. So, you see that I am constantly in a flux. I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly renewing myself. And it is done automatically. Do yourself a favor and Google how often your cells in your body, how often they're changed, how often they're replaced. And you'll see what I'm talking about on a minuscule level. So when I talk about reincarnation, I'm not talking about the physical body that they put in the ground, coming back as dust and dirt, and that physical body coming back. I'm not talking about that. We are far more complex than that. What I'm talking about is something called our consciousness. And I will admit to you right now, I have no idea the extensiveness of our consciousness. I equate consciousness as being a part of creation. Okay? I don't know. The two things that are a mystery to me is consciousness, and I don't know what the mind is. But I do know that we can and we do have connection to creation. It's a matter of choice. Anyway, it's okay. I'm okay, and you're okay. It is, I believe, a fantastic Friday, and all is well in the universe for us when we are receptive to the Word and to the messages of creation. You know, one more thing I want to tell you. There's a persistent rumor that Keanu Reeves is a Buddhist. He's not a Buddhist. I am not a Buddhist. But the principles of Buddhism have stayed with me. You cannot be exposed to the principles of Buddhism and not absorb the many principles of Buddhism. The principles of love and harmony and compassion, of integration and equality, all the good principles of Buddhism. I am not a Buddhist, but I have absorbed all the good principles of humanity, and that hopefully will prevent the nasty letters. But if you want to send them, you go right ahead. You can do that. But I'm telling you, it's far better way to spend your time. Have a fantastic Friday.